There is no shortcut. It's going to be repetition. It's going to be hard work. It's going to be practicing. It's going to be us doing these podcasts. Like, these are obviously, like, we're just starting, right? We're very transparent and very straightforward and honest and understand. We're just starting. Guess what? Today, guys, the mics didn't work. Again, we did it the first time. Second time, something's going on. We got to find new mics. But are we not doing a podcast because of it? No. We're doing a podcast because that's what we're going to do every Tuesday at 8 in the morning. We're going to make a podcast. So what did we do? We found a different solution. We'll find the audio through Zoom. Hopefully it sounds okay. Sorry if it doesn't. But it's coming out.
This is extraordinary. Can't ignore it. This my story. I've been more than ready. And this stuff I'm cooking up this here like culinary. True intentions, must I mention, it's just legendary.
Hey guys, how are you? Welcome back to the Everything is Everything podcast. I'm Vladimir Ledesma.
And I'm Fabio Suarez.
So we are very excited to have another podcast. We are trying to be consistent, positive, motivated, give you guys good information. So we're coming with all the energy and trying to just share some good, hopefully some good value for you guys and have some great conversations with my man, Fabio.
Yeah, man, let's do it. I'm excited about this, like always.
Absolutely. So Fabio, to start off, how have you been, brother?
I've been good, man. Just disciplined, just consistent and disciplined, which is what we're going to be talking about today. But
I love it.
yeah, focused.
Talk to me. I know you went to the city, spent the day out in the city. How was that?
Oh yeah, that was nice. It was much needed, just some time off, some time to refresh, and just see the sights, get inspired a little bit. I got to go to Ryan Serhan's office.
Nice.
For me is a big inspiration. I just love what he's built, and everything he's doing over there in New York and across the country. So it's really cool to see his growth.
Dope. Did you go to any other sightseeing stuff or not too much?
Yeah, we went around the edge. We got to go there, by the river. It was really beautiful. And just get the sights. And for me, I admire the architecture of all the buildings over there. That's my main reason for going over there. I love just seeing the different structures over there.
I love the city. The city always has a great energy, good feeling it brings. Yeah, I was just out there not that long ago. Oh, well, we had as you know, I have family here at the house with us for the summer.
That's right.
And we took my wife's uncle and aunt who were here with us for a few days, and we went to some of the stomping grounds that usually us New Yorkers don't really do, but we went to Times Square, did a couple of those.
It's so fast paced over there. It's like what people say, the city never sleeps. There's so many things
100%.
to do at all moments of the day. It just never stops.
That is what I love. Because I don't ever stop. We don't ever stop.
There you go. Yeah, man. Of course.
Yeah, man. So today we have a very interesting book we're going to be speaking about. You want to introduce it? You want to kind of let us know what?
Yeah, of course, the discipline equals freedom. Man, this topic is so powerful because it gives us a chance to enjoy freedom, right? Like when people hear discipline, they always hear like, man, that sounds so, structured, or like you don't have free time, but actually it gives you free time. Right. And that's why I feel like this book is so spot on for people who are just trying to get ahead in life, like who are on their journey of growth. And for me, it really hit home, just reading a couple of pages the other day, it made me just get refocused on what I'm trying to do and, my dreams and goals. So
love it. Discipline equals freedom.
Right.
A very straightforward book by Jocko Willink. He's a very interesting guy, military background, a lot of motivational talk. You can find him on all the social media platforms.
Right.
He's very straightforward, very blunt. It's not too much of what's it called? Not too much like in-depth talk on this. It's very straightforward.
Yeah.
Like
He doesn't beat around the bush.
It's no beating around the bush. It's really just do it.
Yeah.
Kind of a book. But I did love it because just the whole concept, discipline equals freedom. I mean, the whole concept around it, like you kind of touched on in regards to people do find it like to be like, even me, like, oh, what a square. Like everything has to be meticulous. Like, oh, they're not really living life. They're not really like, and what you realize is when you have the discipline to do certain things and you do have certain systems for your life, you do win a lot of your time back.
Right.
You know, you win a lot of the leisure time back to do other things because the important aspects of life are addressed and
Right.
already have a routine. Routine is something that I'm sure on this podcast you're gonna hear a million times us
Right.
say, because
And schedule.
yeah, scheduling, routine, because honestly, that does really create the time freedom for everything else.
Right.
Because, right, like we do this podcast, we have it at a certain time every week, and it keeps us disciplined. We know exactly what we're doing on Tuesday at 8 a.m. in the morning.
Right.
And also now I'm able to schedule the rest of my day very comfortably because I know, oh, well, what are you doing on Tuesday? Well, I'm busy in the morning, but after 12, what do you want to do? I got time. So it's just like when you have those things structured and in order, you're really able to find the time to fit in more things to do, which could be either for growth of your
Right.
personal life or leisure.
One of the main things that really stood out as I'm rereading this was your feelings don't get a vote. You know, we all have, you know, moments that we feel lazy. We all have moments that we don't want to get up out of the bed. You know, there's those days that you just don't want to go to work or you don't want to do what you know you have to do. And so this one phrase, your feelings don't get a vote, really hit me. It's like
Yeah,
you can't let, you know, that feeling get the best of you, because then you won't enjoy that freedom, that peace, that, you know, what we spoke about before,
right.
that joy, you know, time with your family, time with your wife, time with people that you care about, because you didn't do what you had to do.
Right.
Right. Like what does it matter if you know, you didn't take care of your health? You're not gonna have health to enjoy that with your family, you know, like you're not gonna have the energy.
You're not gonna have the time. Right,
Right.
exactly. Like you can eat whatever you want, and sure, you can eat whatever you want,
Right.
but at some point you'll probably pay for it. Right. Like if you're not putting the right things in your body, you won't be able to enjoy certain things.
Like I know so many people that get sick and they don't even have that time, right? Like, or that
Right.
that energy to even be up with their family, because they're not disciplined in eating and things like this.
100%.
Right.
100%. I agree. And in that point, like, because everybody has those days, right? Like,
Yeah.
and when it says your feelings doesn't matter, that's definitely a Jocko kind of style of explaining something. Because I don't necessarily see it that way. We're human. We all got feelings. We all have emotions. But I think it goes like I would correlate that with your why,
Strong.
right?
Yeah.
Because your feelings matter.
Yeah.
You're tired. Like, you know, sometimes you're gonna genuinely be tired and be like, yeah, I'm shot.
Yeah.
Or I'm heartbroken, or I'm depressed, or I'm whatever you're feeling. You know, people have emotions and they're gonna feel them.
Right.
But if your why is big enough and the purpose is big enough, you're gonna have to battle through that.
Right.
You know, like my big why is my daughter.
Right.
So that makes everything that's uncomfortable a lot easier for me. Just because it has nothing to do with me, actually. So it's not that my feelings aren't justified. Damn, I'm shot. I was out all, you know, whatever, doing everything I was doing yesterday.
Yeah.
It's 6 o'clock in the morning. I don't want to get up. But I have to get up because I have to get this done in this hour, because in an hour my daughter's up and I got to go do things for her. So, and my big why is coming up right after. So I better get this out of the way, because at 7 a.m. I got to be ready for my kid.
Right.
That's my big why.
That's
so
strong. Yeah.
You know, so I think that it's the same point that he's making. Your feelings don't get a vote if your why is big enough. And that's like how I kind of correlated it, because you know, we're not machines.
Right.
That's the only reason I say that, because like I do agree with it, but like, yeah, my feelings get a vote, mother. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
My feelings get a vote, man. Like, you know, it matters if I feel sad. That's justified or whatever the case may be.
Right.
But I can be sad and take my 10 minutes to be sad, but no, hey, business still got to get handled.
Right.
You know, and I think that's the point he was really trying to convey.
No, that's strong, because business still has to get handled, because at the end of the day, like, not at the expense of your family. Like if I don't take care of A or B, right?
Right.
my family's not gonna get taken care of, or whatever that is not gonna, your
Right.
wife, your family. Like if I let this feeling get the best of me,
Yes.
my family will suffer. Like someone's gonna get hurt by me allowing this feeling to override me. And it's a good point that you said your why, because as I was just thinking about this book, some things came to my head. Like, why am I so disciplined? Why do I care so much? Why does this all matter, right? Why does it matter to be disciplined, to not wake up, to not wake up at whatever time I want? Well, a story came to my head where it was you and some money across the bridge, right? And the bridge, you had like $100. You probably wouldn't try to go over there for just $100, right?
Right.
But if you saw like on the other side there was your baby was there and it was on fire, you would try to get around that bridge. You would try to get across that.
You're
bridge.
gonna make you're gonna get there
because your why is so strong, and like that for me, that story hit hard, and it goes with the book too. Is like that's why it matters to be disciplined. That's why it matters, like, because you're gonna figure it out. You're gonna like discipline yourself in whatever ways to make sure your daughter, your family is taken care of. Because if it's just money, you're probably not gonna do whatever it takes to get across that bridge.
100%.
You know what I mean? So when we look at it like that, I feel like then everything, it makes sense. Everything,
Absolutely.
all this discipline, all of this, waking up early, putting that desire to eat that extra food that you shouldn't do it,
Right.
or working out like we've been talking about too a lot. Like then it's like it's all worth it at the end. If I push myself just a little bit more, even though I really don't want to, but if I just do this, I might live a little bit longer for my kids or my future kids.
Yep.
Or for my wife. I'm gonna be there. I'm gonna be strong. I'm gonna be better. I'm gonna be able to produce more. So that's for me is like just a huge highlight from all of from the topic.
So the discipline just is really pushed by the why. 100%. I agree. So Junior, I want you to touch base on kind of something that we talked a little bit about off camera, the two beasts inside, which Jocko mentions in the book and kind of expresses.
Yeah.
What was your takeaway on that?
So yeah, Jocko, he talks about like being in war, and he always noticed that the person who prepared was the one that won. And that's why he was disciplined, and he always prepared himself and his men. And that's why he saw victory. He saw himself always winning the battle. And so for me, we're not in war, but there's something that I feel like has always helped me to stay disciplined, right? And it's this idea of two beasts inside of us, two different people inside of us. And the one that we feed the most is the one who wins, right? And it's like,
what are the two people?
For me, it's like, there's that lazy side of us and there's that driven side of us.
Okay.
Right. And to take it to a step further, right? This is where my faith comes in. There's a spirit and then there's the flesh.
Right.
Right. And so there's feelings, right? And then there's principle.
Okay.
And he talks about mind control, which is another great, but it all goes into this. But for me, it's just like, if I continue to feed my mind, my spirit, that side of me that wants the best in life, I'm always going to be strong. But if I continue to feed, that wimpy person, that person who's always like lazy and weak, that person's going to be strong. And it's really simple. Every day we have a choice, right? We wake up and we can either get up and pray, or we can get up and, watch movies all day.
Right.
So the one that you feed right from the get-go, from the beginning, is the one that is gonna win. Right. And that's how I try to live my life every day. And I feel like it keeps me grounded, it keeps me focused.
I love that.
And I think that was a great point from this book.
And I love that because it goes right back to the discipline. Do I want the comforter life, or do I want whatever I truly want in life, right? Because I think that's where it kind of becomes a decision. Like, do I want the easy route, or do I want to be able to make the decisions? Because that's what it comes obviously down to, your decision, right?
Right.
You can make whichever decision you want, but it's going to affect your life one way or another. And the discipline of being able to say, hey, I'm not going to eat that cake right now because I'm on a diet, is powerful, because it's hard. I like that cake. I like sweets. I like, frosting. I like everything that comes along with that.
Right.
And what's one cake, right? It's not gonna affect me. It's not that bad. Blah 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 blah. You can talk yourself into it.
Right.
And it takes a lot to be able to listen to your mind saying all these things and go, no, I'm on a diet. I'm sticking to my diet. I'm not gonna do it.
Yeah.
And it's so difficult. I think I bring up that one because it's like something that I know a lot of us deal with.
Yeah.
And that's just beautiful because the discipline to be able to say no is super powerful.
Right.
The discipline to be able to say no is very powerful in many ways.
Yeah.
But I love that for the two beasts inside, right? Because you got you can call it, good or evil, pulling you in both directions, and you got to be able to make a decision on what's best for what you really want for Fabio or what I really want for me.
I heard another great analogy. Same idea is like who's gonna win in the fight, right? The one who is fed or the one who's being starved. Right before the fight, you gotta eat right, you gotta take care of yourself, and then whoever is starved is probably gonna be the one that's gonna lose.
Right.
And that's why, like with everything during the first moment of the day, if I just feed that side of me that wants to win, that wants to grow, and if I drink the right water, if I drink the right things, put the right things in my body, read the right books right from the beginning,
Right.
it won't be so hard during the day to say no, like we're talking about, to say no to that extra, piece of cake or
Right.
whatever it is, because I've been doing it already since the beginning. I have momentum.
Right.
But most people, like, they just right from the beginning is just, hey, I'm gonna just do whatever I want today. I'm gonna stay on Instagram all day. I'm gonna, they just start off with these bad habits, and that in turn turns into, destructive lifestyle.
Right. And there's small things that we could do that just add up, right? And so the discipline of being able to make better decisions than worse decisions ultimately will lead you to better results.
Right.
And so, yeah, like, I think you're definitely onto something. I want to read actually the first page of the book because he gives a nice synopsis and kind of breaks down the whole book. And I just found it powerful. So I'm just going to share that with you guys. And it goes, the way of discipline. People look for the shortcut, the hack. If you came here looking for that, you won't find it. The shortcut is a lie. The hack doesn't get you there. And if you want to take the easy road, it won't take you to where you want to be. Stronger, smarter, faster, healthier, better. Free to reach goals and overcome obstacles and become the best version of you possible will not happen by itself. It will not happen cutting corners, taking shortcuts, or looking for the easy way there. There is no easy way. There is only the hard work, late nights, early mornings, practice, rehearsal, repetition, study, sweat, blood, toil, frustration, and discipline. There must be discipline. And I just love that whole thing right there.
Yeah.
But I love that he leaned into there is no shortcuts. And I think we talked about it already on a pod, and it's just such an important part of the discipline aspect is to know, man, I got to make these routines for the daily because this is a long haul game. There is no lottery ticket. Like, I don't play the lotto. I'll play it when it's like $1 billion because, let me shoot my shot at $1 billion. But in reality, people play the lotto every single day. People play scratch offs every single day. And that's fine if that's your thing. But the reality is that that person's wishing on a star. They're going to a job that they maybe really hate, and they're looking for an escape, a way out. That's their escape. That scratch off, that 3 seconds of wishing, that hope is their escape from their reality. And what Jocko's kind of saying is like, there is no shortcut. There is no scratch off ticket that's going to get you there. Like the probability, if you're into math, is very unlikely. So it's way better to just discipline yourself and make a routine for your life to get you there, because at least eventually you will get your life in a manner or to a place where you want it in reality, right? In the real world, like not a wishing upon a star kind of way.
Yeah, and I think that's what you said when you said you were going to just focus on real estate and that's it. And you were like, if I just stay here for 10 years, I know I'm gonna see something,
Right.
no matter what, because you're disciplined and you want you see that, you know, you're gonna see change because you're there day in, day out, year in, year out. And I feel like this really connects to that.
Yeah, 100%. And just like there is no shortcut. It's gonna be repetition. It's gonna be hard work. It's gonna be practicing. It's gonna be us doing these podcasts. Like these are obviously like we're just starting, right? We're very transparent and very straightforward and honest and understand. We're just starting. Guess what? Today, guys, the mics didn't work. Again, we did it the first time. Second time, something's going on. We gotta buy new mics. But are we not doing a podcast because of it? No. We're doing a podcast because that's what we're going to do every Tuesday at 8 in the morning. We're going to make a podcast. So what did we do? We found a different solution. We'll find the audio through Zoom. Hopefully it sounds okay. Sorry if it doesn't. But it's coming out because that's the point. The point is the discipline. We're going to go through these trials and errors until we're on pod 20, 30, 40. And they look like we want it to look, and hopefully the people that are watching it get value from it. Because you can't start at the top. Nope. There is no starting at the top. And even the top is a myth. It's the journey, right? So like, I just love the way of the discipline because it really explains like there is no shortcut. If you're looking for a fast way, you know, you came to the wrong place. Yeah. Even this pod is that.
Yeah, you just got to get started, and then once you get started, you'll figure it out along the way.
You'll figure it out along the way.
You got to stick to it, and that's where discipline comes to play.
100%.
Right.
Something I just want to touch on because all of this reminds me of it, and I think it's just and it has to do with it, right? Because the discipline comes to me. Discipline and routine have so much to do. Like a lot of people think, oh, routine is like monotony. It's like like it's so boring. But the reality is we all have a routine, right? We all have a routine in our day. Whether you live the life that you want to live or you don't, you have a routine, right? There's a person who hates their job right now, hates their wife, hates everything about their life, hates their in-laws, hates every situation. And they're still doing the same things in the morning. They're waking up at the same time. Right. They're going to the same corner store to get whatever they're getting. They're going to the same job. They have their same routine. They're going to bed at whatever time they're going to bed. Like everyone has a routine. And I think the quicker that you realize that's the biggest thing that you control, there's your biggest discipline. And like the reason I bring that up is because that was a big thing I attacked.
That's good. I like that. I like where you're going with it. But I'll let you,
No, that was a big thing that I attacked right there. Like, because that was discipline for me. Right? Like I was all out of whack, 25 years old, wanted to get my life in order, but I was going to bed at 2 and 3 in the morning. I was waking up late. I was doing whatever I was doing outside, hanging out with friends. Instead
like everybody has habits, but those habits aren't really bringing you where you want to go.
And that's the discipline, right? To be able to notice it, take the accountability, which Jocko, the whole book is about accountability, right? Like most things. And the reason I bring up the routine of your daily life is because I was watching like a YouTube video back in like circa 2010, whenever I got started on my journey, because I've been on my journey for a while, right? Like I said, it's not in a day. And this is before real estate. This is before business. Like, I mean, this is just to get regular life in order. And I'll never forget, I watched the YouTube video and it literally said, what does your ideal day look like aside from money? Because I had none. Aside from money, what would an ideal regular like Tuesday look like? What time would the ideal Vlad wake up? What would the ideal Vlad in your mind do in the morning? What would the ideal Vlad eat? Where would he go to eat? What would he do after he ate? you know, and he literally broke it down in such a way. And I wrote it down, it was super simple. I didn't write anything too crazy because it had to be realistic, something I can actually go out and do tomorrow.
Yeah.
And I think I didn't even have a job at the time. Like, it was like a really hard time in my life. And I remember I made the day, and it was super cool. Because like, right, I was like, oh, I'm gonna wake up early because I'm gonna take advantage of the day. I'm gonna work out, and then I'm gonna go to this place and get a shake, and whatever the day is. I made the day all the way until like 6, 7 p.m. or until nighttime, until I went to bed. And it clicked for me. One, the day was great because I planned it.
Yeah.
I disciplined myself and I planned it. But two, it was like, oh shit, I control this.
That's powerful.
I control this. So, you know, sorry, I went on a tangent.
No, that's good. Because that's really good. Because once you get to that point, like you come to that realization, then you start to do it. Like you actually want to do it. When you said something, you wanted to see how it looked.
Yeah.
And then you were finally able to take the steps. And I think you got to imagine it before you become disciplined. Like it only matters when you start to envision the life you want.
Right.
And then you're like, that's what I want. So these are the type of disciplines that I need to start adding to my life. I forget who said it, but your success is nothing more than the habits you do daily. Right? Like your success is found in your daily routine. That's what it is. Your success is found in your daily routine. And once you get that correct, you're not gonna get it right the first day. You gotta imagine in other words, you gotta get around people, right? You gotta think about it yourself, and then you gotta start looking for your ideal people that kind of have similar life to what you're expecting, what you want. And then
similar standards,
that similar life. Like one of the things they say is I wake up early, and these are the type of things that I eat. So now you kind of have like a vision of what you want. These are the disciplines I need to follow.
Right.
And it gets your life on track. And I love that you said that, because we are still disciplined, but we're disciplined with the wrong things.
Yeah, we're all living a routine.
We got to start finding those people that are living that life that we want, and just adjusting our life and seeing if it works, because it's going to be trial and error. It's not tomorrow that you just know, oh, this works for me.
Right.
Like maybe after a year, you finally find out like this really works. Success is coming. Right. Like finally, all of my hard work has paid off after that year, that second year, that third year, that fourth year, and the 10th year. You're like, wow, I'm here. I'm finally living what I saw years ago. So that's why discipline, I feel, is the secret. It's not there's no hack, like Jocko said. There's no hack. It's just like do it. Like get started and work it as you go.
Right.
And then you'll finally see that progress. You'll finally see that freedom that you've always wanted.
Right. So discipline in any area of your life equals success.
Exactly.
I love that. Okay.
Yeah. So, and this is not necessarily from the book, but one of my bishops, there was like a year that he was just talking about that. Every month he focused on like health, and then the next month it was like your marriage, and the next month.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah, every month he would break it down, right? And he kept on repeating that, and I felt like, wow, so it's true. Like if I just add discipline to my finances, it's gonna be successful. If I just add discipline to my relationship with my wife, it's gonna be successful.
Right.
And like we just finished speaking, like once you find out what that is, if that means like making her coffee every morning and that's enough for her to be happy, that's a discipline. You can start contributing to your day.
Yeah.
And it's like just that alone will bring something to the marriage that didn't exist before, right? And it's just add that. All right, what's another discipline? Whatever that is, you just keep adding, because it's not going to happen one day to the next. It's too hard. I feel like our brains can't take it all in. Right. Like you just slowly, gradually add these things. For my finances, which I feel I've been super disciplined. Like I've been listening to podcasts, for I don't even remember how long it's been. For years. Yeah. But when it comes to that, what's net worth? Just asking myself questions every day, and thinking about it, not neglecting it.
Right.
Because I think discipline requires you to think about it constantly. And so I feel like we have to, for me personally, like I had to discipline myself in certain areas of my life. And it's still, it's a learning process, but the things that I've seen growth in are the things that I've spent a lot of time disciplining myself. Like,
where attention goes, energy flows.
yeah, exactly that.
I love that.
Where attention goes, energy flows. And so if you are able, because you're never, I don't believe in like work-life balance. I believe that you just fit it all in. You got to do it all day. Like you have to find a way to add this to your life in every way, in every day and in every way.
Got you.
So like it's just once you finally like really master those areas or whatever you're trying to do, you're gonna see that growth.
I love that. He said, I don't believe in work-life balance.
Yeah.
That's interesting. I like that point. And when you say that, what do you mean? So you feel like it's like,
yeah, I heard somebody say it, but then I'm like, yeah, that makes so much sense because you're always gonna be doing something. Like you're always gonna be, going here, going there. Like if you just do those things, right? Like working out, that's a fitness pillar, right? Then there's family pillar. Then there's finance pillar, right? Freedom pillar. And you're gonna have to do one of those during the day. Don't try to do 100 things. Just do one of those things during the day, and you're good. Because most people don't do any of they don't do any of those things, or maybe just one a day.
yeah.
If you can just focus on doing one thing, one pillar every day, you're good.
Okay.
And so I really started to, contribute, add that into my life.
Okay.
Which goes back into this, discipline plus any area of your life equals success. You're gonna have it eventually because you're working on it.
You're working on it every day. You're putting in the work.
You're a pillar. Your life is pillars, and it's just you're building every single day. If you stop building, it's gonna fall apart.
Yeah, I like what you said about the work-life balance because at least like even in my life, where you kind of know how my life is, I'm nonstop, and I'm just like I do feel like I have some sort of work-life balance, but I actually don't call it that. I just think I have a lifestyle. I think I have an entrepreneur's lifestyle, like where I'm working most of the day. I'm working like obviously I have my time block of like mornings I'm working. I'm like right now, today, happy 4th of July, everybody. Today's the 4th of July.
That's right. That's right.
Right? Happy Independence Day, everyone.
Happy Independence Day.
Yeah, like this is not gonna come out on the 4th of July, but this is when it was recorded.
Yeah.
And the reason I point that out is to your point. A lot of people might say, "Oh, why are they doing I can't do the podcast that day because it's the 4th of July."
No,
we didn't say that, right? We said, "Come by."
right.
And I already had breakfast with my whole family. I already had my time with my friends. We had friends sleep over today.
Right.
I mean, last night I was with them till 2 a.m, hanging out. Still woke up this morning, made coffee for everybody. Everybody took a shower, got ready, sent them on their way. Everybody went out for breakfast and told them, hey, can't go with you guys for breakfast because I got the pod.
Yeah.
But later on, we're going to go see fireworks. We're going to go hang out. It's a flow. It's a lifestyle. To me, it's just a lifestyle of like, I'm going to set up showings for clients for tomorrow, right after the pod, right? And I got a meeting right after the pod. And then I'm going to go watch fireworks with my family. I feel like that's balanced enough. Like, I have enough time to do both.
Yeah, and it's still, your pillars are still being built.
The pillars are still being built. I actually want to work out. So there's another pillar that, is going to get handled too. Right. But to the point, it's just a lifestyle of my life. At this point, I've built it to that, right? Again, I think it comes from the routine of what I wanted to build, of what my ideal day looked like, just to go back to that point. But I'm hitting the pillars because that's what's important for my lifestyle. And I brought it up because of the work-life balance. A lot of people are like, oh, you should be off all day today.
Yeah.
The only time that I'm taking off all day is when we're on vacation.
Right.
Like, that's time for me to be off. But if I'm here, I mean, I love my family. I love being with my family. But 4 or 5 hours a day is more than enough for us to hang.
Right.
And there's 24 hours in the day. Right. And I'm sleeping 6 to 8 of them. There's a bunch of time in the day.
Right.
Like, you know, and you know how I do. I'm in Yonkers 1 minute, Middletown the
Everywhere.
next,
Yeah.
Goshen the next. And it's just to say, you can still have a balanced life. I don't feel like I have an unhealthy of a balance.
Yeah.
And still flow. I think it's lifestyle. So I love the point that you said about the work-life balance. I wanted to see what your input was on it.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
I believe like you said, we have these many hours. Sometimes we can't be everywhere, but we could just do that one thing today. Like
100%.
right then and there, you did it. You contributed like to that part of your life. It's not gonna fall apart.
100%.
Your life is still being built up, and I don't think anybody should knock you for it. Like nobody should get on your case for it. You know, I'm in that, I guess, time of my life where I feel like people should know, like, you're not doing this to hurt them. You're doing this to make them better or to contribute to their life.
Yeah,
You know?
I think that would be for another pod, but
Yeah.
communication is powerful,
Right.
right? Like you got to really communicate with people and let them know, hey, like there's a reason. Like there was people in my house this morning
Yeah.
on the 4th of July. Everybody left to eat at, right 30 minutes before the pod, because intentionally it was like, hey,
Right.
pod's happening today.
Right.
Somebody was sleeping right here a little while ago.
Wow.
You know what I mean? Somebody was sleeping right here, and I was like, hey, just so you know, that's the set.
Right.
That's where the set will be.
Wow. Yeah. You see?
But again, it's communication. Did
Yeah.
they feel disrespected? No, I'm making them coffee over. Those are
Yeah.
my good friends. I'm happy to have them here. And I told them, this is just today. Any other day, this is the only day we do the pod in the week. You can stay the rest of the weekend. We're good, but business as per usual. And it's just communication. I think that when you communicate your goals, your desires, respectful to people's goals and desires, and so it's not like a selfish thing where it's like only yours matter.
Yeah.
Like, I like to know what my wife wants. I'd like to know what everybody wants. But you do have to be able to be like, hey, here's what's gonna happen. Because
Definitely.
I'm getting it done.
Definitely. Yeah.
So, which is what Jocko says. Just do it. He should really be like a Nike ambassador with this book right here.
Definitely.
Yeah. The Everything is Everything podcast. I think we covered all the main points that we wanted to cover here. Imagine the life you want, the why. Where does discipline come from? Well, we didn't cover where does discipline come from, but it comes from you. That's where it comes from. It comes from looking in and holding yourself accountable.
Yeah. And also just imagining the life you want, right? Like,
Right.
if you can see, that life is going to require discipline, right? And so think about your why. Think about, that life that you're going to have if you discipline yourself. And I feel like that's where all of this discipline comes from. If you just know what you want.
The why, the routine, or imagine, then the routine and the action.
Yep.
Always gonna be followed by the action.
Right. And it's not gonna be perfect. We're all a work in progress.
Oh, 100%.
We're
Like
under construction. And that's what I like about this whole entire what
100%.
we're doing here. It's just it's a process.
Yeah.
Don't rush the process, trust the process. It's gonna happen. Don't think about the result. Think about what's going on as the result comes.
100%.
Right? Don't rush it, but trust it. Trust that God, right? Personally, my faith tells me that God is working in the details. You don't have to know all the details. Just do what's being said, and the instructions, the guidance, the discipline, and you'll get there.
I love that. So we're gonna wrap up now with that being said. I hope you guys enjoyed. This is the Everything is Everything podcast. I'm Vladimir Ledesma.
And I'm Fabio Suarez.
And we are out. See you guys on the next one.
This is extraordinary. Can't ignore it. This my story. I've been more than ready.